What's up, guys, and welcome back to the doctor's office. I am Dr. K. Knight, here to give you proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters. We are on issue 2 for Absolute Flash, and this is really interesting. Like the way that they're using his powers right now is really interesting. Again, it's almost as if they took a page out of Marvel's book when it comes to the Blur. So I'm wondering, but we have Wally, who is still in the cave with Barry Allen's dead body, and Captain Boomerang's boomerangs locate him, and he does run, of course, and so they're all trying to cut off his exits. Glider and Jessie, who are outside of the cave, like right there where they want him to go, she pulls out her weapons, and he quite literally jumps through the both of them and takes the fuck off, right? And she's like, what? Because clearly that's not some shit that's ever happened before. And Jessie is like, something's really wrong. Like, this kid is like not fucking normal. And so they go after him, and Captain Cold is able to shoot right at his feet and kind of stop him there, but he's experiencing time like mushed together. So then he ends up going back to where he was with Barry and his dad. Well, currently he's with Barry. Barry's trying to, grab a hold of him because he's twisted up in like this stuff, and he's trying to get, like, he literally is calling for Barry, and Barry's calling for him, and he's trying to get, like, grab his hand, and he ends up disappearing. So it's kind of like he's just flowing in and out of, like flowing in and out of the, time stream, of course. So Wally's dad shows up and is, like, pissed off, of course, and he starts beating up Barry, and there seems to be, like, some just, like, animosity just period between or from him towards Barry, because Barry seems like he's like trying to be cool with him or whatever, and he's like, I told you to stay away from my kid, you just had to mess with my kid, you're arrogant, blah blah blah. And it's just like, what is your personal beef with Barry Allen? Confusion. So Mary's like, look, and he's there, but he's also not there, and he's kind of just like in and out. And he's like, Dad, and then, like, when he starts to come into focus, Wally grabs him and is like, focus on me, but he can't. And so he's like, no, get away from me, but he's not talking to them, he's talking to Captain Cold and all of them. So when he's like, oh my god, everybody get the fuck away from me, he has this like blast that, could have destroyed the 4 of them, but Jessie was able to protect them with these bubbles, and she puts him into a bubble so that they can take him back to their base. And he's just like, let me go. And she's like, oh yeah, no, we will. When we get to the base, I'm going to let you go, and they're going to cut you open like they did McRory and that Raymond kid. McRory being Heatwave, and then Raymond being Firestorm. So what are y'all doing? Why did y'all cut them open? That's weird. Having them kind of just dropped, and them being of the same, because she calls him Hotshot, so it's like, I guess he's like emitting off like a heat signature, but he's not heat. So he then breaks free of the bubble, which they're like, what the fuck, and takes off again, and they are confused. So after he breaks out of there, he takes off. And Captain Cold sends Glider after, and she's like, oh, there's not many people that can get away from me, except he does, right? And he's able to go he's like able to see forward, like forward where he looks like he's a superhero, and then forward again where it looks like he's a monster. He's able to see where he was with his father and Barry, and then where he is, and he just takes off. And so Captain Cold is just like, all right, I'm tired of this, go get him. So they go and release Gorilla Grodd, or Grodd as they're saying there, and he's that tiny little monkey, but I'm sure he's fairly dangerous. So this should be interesting. I'm interested in this. The colors of this are absolutely amazing. It does not interfere with the story, but you can see like them doing the art for what the powers are doing to him, and all of that stuff is very interesting. I'm also interested because his father was there right next to Barry, but Barry is the only one who is like a pile of bones inside of that uniform. So I'm wondering if Rudy did it because he doesn't like Barry for whatever the reason is. Hopefully they answer that. I'm like, it seems really odd because they very much make it seem like Barry and Wally have like this friendship connection, and he doesn't like that. So something would have had to happen. It sounds like he may have been jealous of Barry being there or something like that. I don't know. But his hatred for Barry is weird and off-putting. And then Barry's body is the only one there. And he was asking, like in that first issue, he was asking if his father sent them after him. And or like, why would his father send them after him? And it's kind of just like, it's kind of weird. So I'm wondering what happened in there. The story itself is just like a really, really fun story. And it's just really interesting to see them putting all of this together. Nobody really having control over their abilities except for Wonder Woman. Batman needs like fucking anger management. Superman it just needs therapy. And we haven't seen really from Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern just yet, so hopefully, not even gonna lie, the worst art out of all of these is the Martian Manhunter one. Like, it's very confusing and the art is really bad. The way that this has like all of the color, but it's like the same colors, the reds and the orange, and then you have like, you know, you have the green coming from Captain Boomerang, and then the blue coming from Captain Cold. So that breaking up the mix of orange, red, and yellow and all that stuff is really interesting and works well together. All that shit that they were doing in the Martian Manhunter comic book was driving me fucking insane, and it takes away from the story because it's very confusing what you're looking at. This, however, doesn't take away from the story. I think that they're particularly going after people who emit heat signatures, because a lot, like the description was like, he has no mentor, so there's no Barry clearly, and then there is no Speed Force. So like, what is this? Because it has them going after him as if he's emitting heat, and like the dropping the hints of like, you know, calling him Hotshot, and Mick Rory, who is Heat Wave, and Raymond, who is Firestorm, being cut open and experimented on, and they're quite possibly just dead. So wondering how that is. I'm also wondering how this interaction between him and Grodd is going to go, because Grodd is typically like a Barry Allen thing. So bringing Grodd in seems interesting. With the exposed brain, he looks like a little mini Mojo Jojo type thing. So with the exposed brain, so this is going to be very interesting. I definitely want to see more of this and more of whatever they're going to do. But that is it for this episode of The Doctor's Office, and I will see you guys at your next checkup.